Beautiful people. So I've just changed all my plans. The power of the pomegranate had been calling to me, and so I followed the flow. It's interesting though, because the pomegranate was trying to bring me messages, and I went out yesterday to try and find some messages and some pomegranates, and there weren't any. It was Andalusian Day, and everything was shut. Everything was completely closed, except rather weirdly, the area in Algeciras that is the kind of Moroccan quarter, and they were all open, but they still didn't have any pomegranates. And I didn't understand what the message was, but it was going back to original theme, basically. So, oh my goodness, there's 7 of you here. Am I not getting... might you be talking to me? All messages are visible. You might not be talking to me. So yes, I was stuck between going to Granada, Cordoba, or Sevilla. And I couldn't work out which, and it all felt somehow too easy on the tourist frequency. And then I was like, I went to Morocco to see the stone circle. When I left Morocco and arrived in Ceuta with the big Hercules statue, there was Stonehenge behind me, and I was like, wow, Wassail golden. And it just took me on 2 days to realize I need to go on the path of the stone circles, because that's what I've been asked to do, is to go and sing to certain spots, and they're not going to let me sing inside these big cathedrals that were mosques with all the sacred geometry. They're just not going to let me do it. So Wassail to fire. So I've come to a little town outside of Malaga because there's a huge marine cave, which we're going to go to tomorrow. I'm going to try and sing in there. There's only 3 of these in the world, I think. I might be muddling because there's another geode cave, which is a lot further, but I want to try and get there later with giant, I mean, we're talking giant crystals. I mean, as big as me, crystals as tall as me. And it's a geode. It's a crack in a rock, and you can go inside and it's all crystals. So I have here a pomegranate, and I also have some totally delicious pomegranate juice. And I thought it would be important to imbibe it. Hello, was that someone else? Wassail, wild wolf woman. I'm singing today, and it keeps taking notes to places that I'm not expecting it to go to. So we are looking at the pomegranate because even though we're meant to have a quick look at the Empress on the Rider-Waite Tarot before sitting down, but I just had such a lovely bath, it threw me. So let's just quickly look at the Empress. Wassail, Melissa. I probably shouldn't be that loud. I'm in a hotel. Probably not everyone wants to hear me. Empress, Rider-Waite Smith. I'm sure they're on her dress. Yeah, they're on her dress. Oh, now I've closed up. I've been writing loads of information about the Empress. No, I've never heard of a golden pomegranate, although weirdly, when I was looking at images to make that thumbnail, I did see some yellow ones. I'm like, don't wonder if they're not ripe. That's more magical. So yes, pomegranates, they're coming up. So we're going to kind of play a little bit of I quiz you, you answer me, and then we will shuffle cards around the themes. So I was going to go to several places with sacred geometry. And one of those places has a pomegranate on its coat of arms. Because rather weirdly, the name of this town is the Spanish word for pomegranate. So, does anyone know the Spanish word for pomegranate? I get to sit still and wait to see if you can answer as you all Google search. What's the Spanish word for pomegranate? But I want you to kind of get in the Wassail David T. Right. So yeah, it's an exercise in a sharing knowledge. Sharing knowledge. Yeah, I shaved my head. Well, I didn't. I got a barber to do it when I was in Algeciras, and he was so kind and so honestly priced that I was very happy. So, anyone got the answer for the Spanish word for pomegranate? Pomegranate. I can tell you where the word pomegranate itself comes from. It comes, well, it's quite complicated. It's granite as in granules, but also seeds. And pomme being the French word for an apple, the seed apple or the granular seed apple. But it has a different name in Spanish. I'm not moving on until someone answers me. Come on, people. I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm not going to show you any that fall out until I get an answer to the Spanish word for pomegranate. We could just ask Olga. She'd tell us. Very interesting, but I'm not sharing until I get an answer to pomegranate in Spanish. I know, I could Google it, but I'm not Googling it. I'm waiting for you. This is about a participation. We're joining together to gather information, and then I'll shuffle the cards. I know what the answer is. That's why I'm posing the question. Somebody Google it. Yay! Wassail, Louise, Lucia, Wassail, just good fellow. So yeah, Louise, for doing that, I'm going to shuffle you a card or two and give you a little private mini reading because you gave me the answer. It's Granada, and Granada is the name of a very famous city here with the Alhambra Palace, and it has a pomegranate on its coat of arms. So Louise, let's give you a little reading there. See how this works? I didn't know it was going to work like that. So you got vitriol. Now, vitriol's really interesting. This is before sound, Louise. Okay, so you've got before sound, the inner earth void. So this is about a transformation. It's as if you have, Louise, a philosopher's stone, a current outlook that you use. And this is about to change. You're going to hand back your old philosophy and you're going to go deeper into the earth so that you can find the true hidden stone, which is a brand new timeline. Think didgeridoo calling to you. And then you've got here, yeah, I know, it is Roma. Wassail, peace and love music. Wassail, Denise. I'm just giving Louise a private reading for getting the first question right. So, 19, movement. You are moving towards a new philosophical reality, a new timeline, and it's coming with Ula. And Ula really is about reaching out with all of your senses. So this is the omen of astral shadow boxing. You need to just kind of slightly knock your old energy out a little bit. Have a fight with what you used to believe. Transform it. But you see, here's an interesting thing. Transform your energies, Louise, but don't think about sharing that with anyone at the moment. And there's something really important about keeping this to yourself, because you've got oak. You've got this energy of the natural world, sprites and spirits around you, trying to assist you. I want to say up your intake of tannins if you can, whether that be tea, green tea, matcha ice cream. Really, it doesn't matter how healthy the intake is. There's something about tannins in this card. It says tannin rich bark purifies. So there's something. Oh, okay. So the tannins are going to attach to things that need to be detoxified out of you. That's what seems to be coming through. So I hope that's helpful. Right, so let me check what you've all been saying while I was doing that. So I'm going to set another question in just a second, but I didn't want to set it while I was doing that reading because I would not pay attention. So let's go back to my little pomegranate. I'm going to cut the pomegranate open in a bit. I could only get a kind of cardboard wooden knife. It may snap. It may also make a mess all over. I didn't think about that. I've got a plastic bag. I might get a plastic bag. So let me just check what you have. Right. Okay. So now let me. So the next thing I want to look at is, what do you imagine? No, there is an average number of seeds inside pomegranates. It can vary. Some have many, some have few, but there is an average number. And that average number is a very important number in the mythology of the pomegranate in the Jewish culture. Can you find out how many seeds are the average number? Abracasamba, wassail. Oh, gateway of wisdom, you are so close. It does begin with a 6, but the next 2 digits are slightly more divinely intentional. So who comes up with the number? I so want her. Yes, Gateway of Wisdom, you are completely correct there. 613. Oh, 644 would have been great with your name. So 613 is the number that is applied to the average number of seeds across a whole bunch, but it's also the number used in the Jewish faith. Pomegranates are really important. They come up in so many different stories. So, Gateway of Wisdom, let's shuffle you some cards for getting the question mark. I love this format. Yes, Denise. 613. The musical alchemy of astrology. Okay, look, so you are dealing with the solar eclipse. There's a galactic opportunity coming. So within the next 13 days, within the next 13 days, there will be the lunar eclipse entering the Ædan Geminis tunnel, and then there's a huge galactic opportunity coming to you on the 23rd when there's the partial solar eclipse in Eris. It should be in Pisces because that's where the North Node is. So it's a little bit of a saucy eclipse tunnel, not following the rules. Right, there's something healing. There's an opportunity, this galactic opportunity that's being offered to you is a chance to mend something. I'll pull some more cards to see if we get an idea of what it is you want to mend. In the deepest, darkest depths of Nithelvel here, the craftiest, most magical elves hammer and forge at the tiniest personal, precious gift they can offer any soul. Ah, the eye hole of a needle. So, okay, what you need to do... that's interesting, because that's the reverse way that I've been being discussed and shown. Okay, so look. Gateway of Wisdom. There's 2 doors on an Ædan Geminis. This can apply to many of us. Don't think this is just this, but it's just the Gateway of Wisdom's triggering this message for us to hear. But it's so interesting that it's putting it the reverse way around. Oh, maybe it's not. Hang on, let me just lean into this. Okay, so that's really fascinating. I've been getting a story to do with the Ædan Geminis. Not only the notion that every Ædan Geminis, so there's a 2-week period that's the Ædan Geminis from the lunar eclipse to the solar eclipse at the moment, this way around. Sometimes they're the other way around. You're being shown that that's a 2-week period, but actually the space created, the energetic opportunity created by this eclipse is a 6-month story until the next eclipses that come. And that's always the way this works. But on top of that, you have other cycles, like you have a Chiron 50-year Ædan Geminis that we wander through and come out of. So if you try and think of all of the things that we struggle and deal with, or the things that we find joyous, they're all to do with these different Ædan Geminis. Now, the Ædan Geminis is also called the Vaticinium, like the Vatican, because it's all ancient Roman names applied to things. So, galactic opportunity. Oh, no. Is everybody else struggling to hear? It could just be that the Wi-Fi is a bit rubbish. I've been having that problem for a long time. Okay. If I talk slower, maybe there'll be a chance for you to get the words. So, the solar eclipse. I see Catherine can hear well. Okay, I'll keep going, and if it becomes impossible, let me know. You're being given an opportunity. I mean, the thing is, it might work better on a replay. You're being given an opportunity to be a door, okay? But you're being asked to be... you see, this I'm not sure. Let me just shuffle some more cards. I'm not sure whether you're letting all the souls into the pen or whether you're letting all the souls out again. Just give me a moment. Yeah. We've got Earth Masion. So you're letting them out. Don't worry, you may get the message on a replay. Let me continue, because if some people are hearing it clearly, it means it's recording it clearly, and then hopefully you'll be able to hear it. If you really can't hear it on a replay, you can email me and I'll explain it. You are a doorway. You are a door. You are... Yeah, I'll try and get there in a sec. You'll have to remind me. Oh, actually, I've got a pen and paper somewhere. Bye. I'll come back to hearing loss. You are a door. You are the solar eclipse door. So when we reach the lunar eclipse on the 14th, maybe, and the 23rd, I'm a bit vague because I've been traveling today. So everyone will enter the eclipse tunnel. On the moment when it's the solar eclipse in Aries, brand new opportunity. Oh, that's brilliant, Melissa. Yeah, translate it in simple terms so that... yeah, so that gateway to wisdom. Oh, gateway, you were a door. So, on the solar eclipse, I want you to imagine that you are the gateway. You are the door. And you're going to hold that door open for everybody, not just on Earth, but every living thing, plants, animals, everything that has a consciousness is going to walk through your door. You're going to let them through. You're going to love them, give them compassion, wish them well, and let them enter that realm. And when they all go through you, you shut the door and you are with them. It's an energy of being like a divine guide. It's just that the version I have is being told to me the other way around to do with the moon. But yours is definitely saying you're doing a solar eclipse. Now, I'm going to do the ears quickly because I'm in a hotel and this is it's a really uncomfortable noise. It's a bit loud. Oh my God, I can't stop burping. And I've been drinking gazpacho, which is one of my favorite things from this area. It's a cold tomato, cucumber and garlic soup. It's coming back. So let's go to B. Two things. Hearing loss. Yeah, you'll have to send me an email though. Wassail. It might, the thing is, it might, gateway of wisdom, it might settle on the replay once it's processed. It might not replay now, but it may once it's gone through the process. Because when I finish a live, it takes about 14 hours for it to clear up. There you go, Melissa's explained it. So let me just find this. Well, no. Stop it. It's trying to open the wrong things. So we're going to do B. We're going to do the note B. But whenever if you have any kind of moments where you can hear a sound ringing in your ears, hold that sound, focus that sound through your ears, allow that sound to become quite dominant, which is what it's trying to do, and then take that sound and drop the sound, move the sound all the way through your body, all the way down to your feet, and then all the way back up, all the way up past your ears and outside of your head, and then do it again. And usually this will clear it, but that's slightly different to hearing loss. I'm going to ask you if you use headphones, because I tell people to use headphones for this exercise, but there's a lot of new theories coming out at the moment about how some hearing loss is created by a lack of practice in the brain at dealing with locating where sounds are coming from. So if you go out into the natural world and sit somewhere where you might hear the sea or the wind blowing in trees, try and listen for a bird or a dog and try and see if you can quickly locate the direction, because this is a mind-brain practice that we need to keep doing, because it's creating a sense of hearing loss, particularly when we're in noisy environments. And these environments are stopping us from hearing conversation, because we're not able to choose with our brain how to cut out background noise. Background pink noise is what I'm hearing. Okay, I'm not saying don't use headphones, because I think sometimes they're important. I don't use them very often. But there's new research coming out. You could look up, there's a newspaper, The Guardian. They've been covering a couple of stories about this. So I'm going to give you the B, and try and put a clearing noise through the brain to sort of reset how the brain considers this. Just stay with me. I'm getting, yeah, it will be really sharp. I'm getting a sense of phlegm. There's a lot of energy of movement of phlegm at the moment within people. So I'm going to keep doing it till it clears. so that should be helpful. I should have written timestamps. So, next question on pomegranates. Let's put the cards back. Wassail Sophie Rose, Wassail Tanya Schultz, and Wassail Angie. Okay, I feel like I need to get a little plastic back because I want to cut into it. But first of all, I'm going to ask you, why do they say that pomegranates are nature's Viagra? Thank you, Subtle Fire. Let me go and get this plastic bag. So yeah, nature's Viagra. Also, where does it come from? What is the origin? Wassail Holly Coons. So nature's Viagra, and where does it come from? If you can answer either of those questions, you get a mini reading. Wassail Cura Libra. Oops. I think this bag might be too small, but let's just get pomegranate all down Earth. So I'm keeping an eye out here. Whoever answers one of the two questions gets a reading. So where is the true origin? And I'd like the older name. Well, yes, it does come from the Tree of Life. That's very true. But where does it come from here? Let's see if this knife... Oh my goodness. I am watching for answers, but... No, not quite Afghanistan, but a similar region, and it did travel there quite early. Yes, it's Iran or Persia. So, I didn't see who that was. Subtle Fire. Yes, I'm Judy V. See, Judy V said Persia, and that's really the answer I wanted. I'll give you both a reading. The others... Pomegranate, that's interesting. So the other thing to look up is why is it called nature's Viagra? And if you can hold off the answer while I'm doing the reading, because I'll miss you saying the reading, but I'll remind you of the question, and you can all look it up now. And then when I do the mini readings. Oh, that's interesting. Because I'm just going to have really red fingers, I'm quite sure. Oh, look at that. Yes, Subtle Fire. So you definitely get your reading, because that absolutely is the truth. Not impressed with the colours of my pips. I need to write something down, because I need to ask another question that I didn't answer, because this feels a little bit like it's doing it. So I'm going to come back to that. That's ready. Oh, I might have to just eat one. So hang on a minute. I'm coming. So Subtle Fire, I'm coming back to you. I'm going to do Judy V first for saying Persia, and then I'll do you because you've got two answers. So Judy V, what does the pomegranate want to say to thee? So, Julie B. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh yeah, you can look it up. It's a Google search. It's just I'm asking I'm asking questions and you're digging up the answers. I'm not taking that one because I wasn't concentrating. There's more questions to come and hopefully the sound is better. I see, that's interesting. There's some surprise coming. Like out of the blue, but hidden. I mean, like something you can't even anticipate. It's gonna, at first, it's gonna really impact your nervous system, and then it's gonna really calm your whole nervous system down. I'll come back to that pomegranate in a minute because I want to tell you something about it. There's something fated about this energy. Oh, and it's really actioning. So I want you to look up 481 angel number because that's going to have an importance. You see, this feels like something unexpected. It's a clarity, a decision that you've almost, you haven't really put it off. You haven't even reached a point where it feels necessary to make this decision. But this is the 30th of November. March. The 30th of March. Why did I say November? You might want to write down the 30th of November. It might have some reason, but this is the 30th of March. This is when Neptune will move into Eris. And this is why I say it's about a kind of clarity that comes. At the moment, no, not March 11, the 30th of March. But I see where you're going there. So Neptune will move from home, from being capable of clouding us and shrouding us in so many fogs. But Neptune knows the fogs are about to be transmuted. They're about to be changed. And when Neptune moves into Aries, it's cardinal fire. And that fire, you see, it's really interesting. It does come across as kind of feminine fire, as in divinely intended solution creating frequency. So all the fogs will dissolve and it will ground your nervous system. That's the energy that I'm getting, is this movement from, hang on a minute. The nervous system being grounded in a way that it hasn't been able to before. So that's the 30th of March. And that period will go on until the 20th, a year later of March. No, February. 20th of February, 2026. And that's, there's going to be, by that point, it's almost like a whole series of Saturnian restrictions are all going to be also dissolved so that you can actually be in receivership. So by the 26th or the 20th, 26th of February 2026, Neptune and Saturn will go into a conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So go easy on yourself. Yeah. It is a bit like the babysitter went home and everybody grew up. You know, I don't want to say we killed our inner child because it upsets people. You see, this is coming out upside down, needle here. Wassail, Donna Rachel. I want to say it's not being gifted to you. You're gifting this to yourself. It's an opportunity that you're taking. And it's got this death note history bell. This is, I want to say, this is the moment when all that was static, all that was held, all that was Saturnian kind of energy is desire alone. That's exactly. It's come out upside down. You yourself are the needle. Your choice to move into this new energy. To kind of, it's almost like you're being given this chance to say, there's a whole year coming now where you can make a difference to your entire life. You don't need anything from anybody to make it real. It's you that makes it real. So that's your message. Now let's do Subtle Fire, who also understood that pomegranate is nature's Viagra because it's nitric acid. I've forgotten. Oops. Yes, Viravinda. That's also very, very, very true, that it's the blood of Adonis. So, what was the acid? I've got the acid lost. Nitric acid, which increases testosterone levels, but it also widens the blood capillaries so that your divine masculine can get an erection. What are you going to do about that, YouTube? You're going to have a fucking meltdown. Miss out that word because it's rude. Keep up. So let's go. Yes, thank you, Subtle Fire. Here we go. Subtle Fire. What message do we have for Subtle Fire? And then I'll set another question. So, So this is kind of interesting. There's one stuck in the deck. The one stuck in the deck tends to be something happening that you're not paying attention to. You're being restored. You're being lacquered with sincerity. So it's transforming, it's almost removing the layer of rust, the calcified coating. It's time for the B-side. It's house 2 and its values. Your values are being changed. Now, we've got another card face down. Interesting. Mars. If ever there was a bugger that wants to rust something, it's him. Because it's iron, and iron is that thing that rusts. So there's a sense, it's a subtle fire. So what do I want to say? I want to say that there's a very deep self-survival energy in your ancestral line. Yeah, iron and rust. There's a really deep energy, but this is about turning rust to gold. There's an old story. There's a frustration. There's a compression like a fury that are corroding in the family ancestry where I want to say some of your ancestors have been made to feel the word weak, but it's like explain. It's a suppression energy. It's like the energy that I felt. I want to say that this is actually, it's a lady anger. It's in the female line somehow. That's really interesting. Again, we've got Aries and Scorpio. Like there's a cardinal simmering, rusting fire. oh, what was the energy that I just caught that's been stressing the immune system within your female ancestral line? So something to do with births not coming to full term, and being made to feel that was somehow your fault rather than the stressed immune system, not yours, but ancestors. A stressed immune system carrying too much, holding too much together for everybody, and being calcified, being slowed, being, oh, you see, now I'm getting osteoporosis in the bones, like an inflammation from the frustration. But it's all changing with you. You're turning this to gold. You're planting a new Earth solar year. So this is a sacred earth walk. This is a new walking baseline, and it's interesting because these are both the notes C. So there's an old energy. Yeah, Mars is in Cancer, and Mars has been downloading shitty anger and frustration, and particularly to do with possessive frequencies, when Mars has no right to possess these things, passing that energy down. I'm also getting the Eris, because that's why I think it's feminine anger. It's the Eris, the chaos, that energy, but it's being transformed. It's changing the values around you and on the earth. Do you see how it goes from this burning to this scorpionic calm? Yeah, it does. And it is time to move it on. And it's really interesting, but I'm seeing this being played out in the beautiful toxic masculinity that still thinks it's going to control the world. It's gone. That hymn book has gone. So let's just get let's get a rune on that. Yeah, calm your Mars. I did a reading on that, didn't I? Because we can't help it. I've been... Look, I want to say, though, actually, yes, calm your Mars, but maybe don't calm your Eris. You see, there's a very big difference between Mars, who can come across... Look, Mars... Oh! This is a Mars day. It's the 1st of March. This is Mars Day. This is when Mars... They take all of the men in ancient Rome today, and they call Mars to make them warriors. And then on the 1st of October, on the calendar of October, because it's the calendar of March today, ask Mars to leave them so that they can become farmers and can collect the harvest. So what I was going to say was, I'm very good at calming my Mars. It used to just slip out before I could help myself. And then I learned to make it slip out in a kind of cheeky way. And then I just stopped putting it out. And that's actually also not a very good thing. That's when we need to switch from the Mars energy to the Eris energy. Eris is the goddess of discord. She is chaos, but she does it in a kind of Kali Ma way. She does this because we have to break things down. We have to remove the rust. You see, it's interesting that rust kind of, if you touch something rusty, it comes off all over your hands. If you touch something that's verdigris, which is copper, Venus energy, it doesn't come off in the same way. have Mars in Cancer. That's interesting. I would suggest can find out where your Eris is, Denise. She's probably in Aries because I think she's in Aries for everybody. Because she takes a very, very long time. I can't remember. Let me just get her out the deck. Let's just get her out the deck and discover what it is that she's hiding, because she's got her eye on all of us. That's the thing. And she brings the chaos to make the transformation. And maybe subtle fire, you need to hear Eris and use your Eris anger rather than your Mars. I mean, look, Mars anger tends to be, it goes in all guns blazing and creates war, whereas Eris is much more subtle. Eris drops philosophical bombs and lets everyone else beat each other up. She does it in absentia. She doesn't have to be there. Oh my goodness, she's hiding from me. Eris. I wouldn't mind, but ordinarily at the moment, she just keeps popping out in a reading. She's like, I'm here again, bringing you chaos. If you can't bring chaos within yourself, this could be your message as well. Subtle fire. If you can't if you can't love chaos and bring the chaos inside yourself, it will manifest and materialize all around you and keep tripping you up. You have to make friends with Eris. Here she is. Yeah, she's got an orbit of 558 years. So, depending on your age, Denise, and I'm sure it's not 558, she'll be in Aries. She is the bee that I just sang. She's the moral compass challenge. She's... Sorry, I need... Oh, 64, cool. So, subtle fire. There's this classical thrash metal orchestra. So it's like, what she does is she creates something you know, but in the wrong setting. And that's what she's bringing, so that you can turn your rust to gold. She's bringing you a different opportunity. So, I just burped, I'm so sorry. And again, it tastes of gazpacho, not pomegranate. Oh, look what you're getting. See, look. That's beautiful. That's collective, loving energy. It's the Elven ring. Oh, and this has a baseline, ground base, walking baseline. You're going to be grounded. Can you see this symbol? I can't do it this way around. Why can't I do it that way around? Can you see how it's hidden within this but planted deeper? So it's here, but it plants itself deeper. It's almost like it's a new Elven tune of pure love coming through. I want to say the Great Attractor, which is an energy behind the Milky Way. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, this is the Liffruma symbol, but it needs this extra bit because you have to be the thing that plants it into the world, because this is the Elven ring just above the moment. I see, now it's saying to me you need to explain the pomegranate. So, inside the pomegranate... Oh no, I don't want it on my cards. It's dribbling. Hang on. So inside the pomegranate, I'm going to bring the bag back over so that it dribbles in the bag. Now, inside the pomegranate are all the different seeds. Now, this seed is us. So you can think of it as this wonderful red earthing energy frequency, grounded frequency, but not grounded in the old world, grounded in the new. So imagine you are the center of everything. And inside the nucleus of everything is the seed. So I'm just going to dig this seed out. I feel like it's going to ping at my hand. So there is the nucleus. It looks like I'm bleeding. So there is the nucleus inside that is you creating and grounding your new world. But you've got to push the old world out as far as this, to the distance of the skin. It's old and it's not, and it has been protecting us. But it's time to cut in, spill out all the seeds, all of the seeds, everybody else. All in this together, we make the difference, we transform. Luckily, I did bring a little hand towel. So let me just go to the write-up I did for this bit for you all. Yeah, each fruit orb, each little pomegranate with the grain seed inside is an entire cosmos around a seeded nucleus that is us as the individual, but all of our world, all of our lives coexist within the same skin. But this skin is being shed so that we can plant the seeds to grow new pomegranate trees in new places in the great Yggdrasil forest. So, what was the next question I wanted to ask? Which follows in this. So, there's a disease that can happen to a pomegranate that takes place. You can't necessarily see it on the skin. There are subtle signs, but you cut open a pomegranate and there's a particular disease that can appear. Can anyone tell me what it's called? For a mini reading. So you can Google it, you can look it up online. And it really, the other thing I just want to say, it doesn't matter whether you get questions right or wrong. It doesn't matter, because information is all very... So for instance, when I was coming here, I could book a train ticket, a bus ticket from Algeciras to Malaga. And then when I typed in, can I get from Malaga to this town? I got the answer of both yes and no. So when I came outside, really didn't know what to do and how to get anywhere. Xanthomonas pomegranate, that I don't know anything about, so I'm going to write that down and I shall look that up in a bit. Yes, Denise, the black heart. Isn't that just amazing? Xanthomonas. Black heart disease. I love that, black heart disease. So Denise, let's find out what that black heart's all about for you. Yeah, it's not the fungi. It's not the fungi. It's not the fungus among us. Oh, Denise. Please, embers, embers. So this is the Stellar Nursery. I know that it's a bit grainy, but without natural light, the cards don't show up very well. This is Embers, the Stellar Nursery, the Golden Path. I want to say there's something about, I'm seeing an image of you like cutting your pomegranate and just letting all of that, see, that's interesting, spill out to make space. So that's a little bit like the Hertecker card, where if you don't make room for something else than what you're making room for, here is the embers. It's the water phoenix. It's, you've got that on the bottom as well, which I'm being drawn to. Salt. So that's the magical materialization that fixes new time. Easing the bitterness of spiritual growth. Sacred salt tears of release. Also, the oceanic akashic hierophant here on earth. Salt ritual. There's many things you can do with salt. There's, you can see that's the Akashic Records. The only trouble is whenever you go into salt, you don't really want to leave salt on your skin. You do want to wash salt off. And being shown write your wishes on paper, in chalk and paint, that doesn't matter what, but not in permanent marker, and place that in salt water. That will help to materialize the new desires that are taking shape in your heart for the golden pathway. It's completer frequency. Great contractor. When I say great contractor, I mean like the cosmic womb pushing to make something new. Oh, thanks, Donna. I mean, I really do. I love both these decks so much. And I'm really sorry that I'm not anywhere where I can have this one printed and send out to you at the moment. Yeah, salt ritual. Kind of soon, because there's something, well, this month, Denise, because Neptune will be in Pisces for all of the month and we'll switch on the 30th into Eris. Wassail clarity. So Denise, I'm just looking for some runes. Oh, there they go. But I feel like I want to pull some ceramics as well. Oh, look, this is so beautiful. You are being yarna, twisted, woven to some brand new magic. And that's what's between this almost. Hang on, can't do that. It's kind of between that. There's some beautiful poetry on this one. This is about Frigg. So Frigg, maybe when you do your ritual, identify Orion. Forget that he's Orion. In Norse mythology, Orion was Frigg with her distaff, spinning and weaving. So Frigg weaves golden threads of love into the destinies of all beings so that we may tangle our heartstrings with others. Let the sound of two hearts vibrate entwined as one. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean with another person, because I always talk about the lower and the higher heart. We have to twist our two hearts together. The lower heart, the physical world heart, the Saturn, who is also in Pisces, and will be moving to Eris in May. The Saturn is the kind of Jormungandr, the earth snake, what people call Kundalini. There's a Kundalini rising, but no one ever talks about Kundalini descending, your galactic inheritance. And that's the higher heart energy. So these two hearts is just, I think, you coming in using Frigg as an energy of love. And it says, keep spinning a tender talismanic thread for another in eternal ecstasy, but for you as well. You know, if it's more important, really, well, it is more important. We have to find us before we find another. Because otherwise we just find another wrong un. So, Denise, that's your little question, correct? Let me go back to my notes and set you another question. Actually, there's not another question, Mark. There's more something to do with sacred geometry. So there was a message coming through about sacred geometry that was going all the way through Morocco when I was in Morocco, because it's everywhere. It's the pavements, it's in every tile, Riyadh, the staircases, and it's all wonky. It's not like it is here in Alhambra, in Cordoba, in Sevilla, where it was birthed by the Moors, by the Moroccans that were bringing Islam and all the different caliphates, like the Caliphate of Granada, the Caliphate of Cordoba, etc. They created a sacred geometry that was in the architecture and in the style. Now, these divine threads that we talked about just now in your reading, Denise, they are the interdimensional divine threads that are... So look, if you imagine that we are connected to both this body that is our anchor in this particular timeline, which can be changed, but you're also connected by threads and stories through ancestors, through your galactic truths, to a whole series of other dimensions. And the layout of that is sacred geometry. But because we are living, the sacred geometry moves. It's fluid. It has motion. Oh, fabulous. You're going back to Tunisia. There's loads and loads of stone monuments in Tunisia. I also want to go myself to Algeria, but they're saying it's very complicated to get there. And actually, weirdly, they keep saying it's a very poor country. And when I looked it up, everywhere you want to stay is about 4 times the price of Europe. So there's this capturing, yes. So in the architecture, the sacred geometry is 3D. If you walk into maybe the Grand Mosque in Cordoba and you see all the different layers of the archways and the columns, as you move physically through it, the lines of the sacred geometry transform and change because of the perspective of our eyes. When you put it on flat tiles or when you witness it as crop circles, it's flat, it's rigid, and it can become a distortion because it's not flowing with its truth. You're not witnessing the truth because you've got nothing of perspective to guide your eye and move and flow and transform the shapes. So the two-dimensional sacred geometry is like a prison wall. And when it's like in many places I stayed in, so the message that came through was sacred geometry in the hands of the uninitiated. It's dangerous. It's actually creating a cacophonous distortion, and people are having to walk through all of this really crazed, uncomfortable energy, and it's not settling into a calmness that there is in the great pieces of architecture. Way! Yeah, it's 822 here. Wassail, feel amor. Kia ora from New Zealand. I can't tell you how that just broke something. I kept getting a message. There was a drink called Kia ora in the 1970s. It was a little square tin, and there was this message which was Kia ora's too orangey for crows. It's just for me and my dog. And I was like, I don't know any dog that likes Kia ora. In Morocco, that was a really, really strong message that kept coming through. So we got the sacred geometry. I want to say crop circles. Up your dog. Yes, that was the last line in that. And when it came through, I was like, what was that bloody drink called? What was it called? Couldn't find the name of it. Yeah. So the other thing that I want to talk about, I'm just going to pose this question and I'm going to do a bit of reading about it. It was the funniest advert. It was a cartoon shown in the cinema. So this morning, well, not just this for a while now, a few weeks, I've been getting this energy where this eye sees one thing and this eye sees another thing. This eye tends to be the more crazed. This tends to show the current reality that I'm used to. And then this eye keeps doing weird light energies. Like it will put magenta colors over things, or it will just light the whole world differently. It's very, very strange. So this morning, after the big storm, I keep bringing water. I went to one riad in Astoria, and it had an open air 4-story, kind of what would have been a riad once, a garden space with all the rooms around the outside. And there was torrential rain and it flooded. All the streets flooded. When I went to Chef Shawan, they hadn't had rain forever. And as I arrived, it poured with rain. I just kept bringing rain to all of the destinations that I went to. And everyone kept saying, it's never rains here. And I was like, wow. So the left eye is representative of the true self. You see, I think that might depend on the way in which your brain is wired, left-handed, right-handed, when you write. So I think that can change, but I don't know because I'm not a brain expert. Yes, I know. It's a greeting. It's amazing. And I wonder whether the drink was banned because it was a stolen word from the Maori. There's pomegranate stickiness all over the table now. So back to this energetic rain. What is energetic rain? I got up this morning in Al Jazeera's, and as I went outside, I could see an energetic replay of the rain that came the night before. Well, it wasn't quite that. It was when I first asked my guides why I couldn't see energy and light the way other people did, and they said to me, well, we'll show you what it looks like, but if it comes on, you're going to have to keep it on. It won't turn off. And so they made me go and stand on a balcony overlooking the sea, and then they showed me all the energy from all the stars in the cosmos and the planets all coming down and interacting with everything.